Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, feeling pretty motivated, man. Pretty motivated. Yesterday I was feeling extremely tired and lethargic, man. It's one of those situations where I was, I had been doing a little work and on my body, a little exercise, nothing too serious, but I just felt wiped out yesterday. Like after everything I did throughout the day, getting into the room and making my target run, I felt like a bus had hit me. Like I just had no energy at all. And it was one of those situations where I went down to the front desk, bought myself a Gatorade, talked to my buddy there, and she motivated me. Not in a way that was like, go get it, but it was just like a conversation about working out. And I told her, yeah, I'm probably not gonna work out today, I'm a little sore. And she said to me, I don't necessarily feel right unless I'm sore. And that right there was the words, like, you know what? Yeah, I need to go back upstairs and push myself a little harder. And so that's what I did. I went upstairs, pushed myself, worked out real hard yesterday, and felt good about it. After I did all the showering and working out and all that stuff, I did some art, made some very good pieces, two very high level pieces for what it is my level of art is. Two of the best pieces I made in a while. So man, I was just highly motivated, man. Highly motivated yesterday after that conversation. So yeah, man, that kind of carried over to this morning. I added another squat to my suitcase squat regimen, even though it's a lot lighter now that I've replaced the suitcases with like a bag type thing. But I'm 113. 5 sets of 113. So I added a couple other things to what I was doing this morning. So I just felt motivated, man. I really felt like she challenged me to be better, and I really appreciated that. So carried that forward. What else is going on? I was feeling kind of tired afterward though. That's for sure. I was wiped out. Slept very good last night. Had some really interesting dreams. I can't really put a finger on any of them, to be honest with you. But I know it felt like I was in something that was really like a movie. That's what I can say. That's the most of it I can give you. It wasn't anything poignant, but I remember feeling deep in my sleep, and I guess that had something to do with how tired I was. So yeah, just a pretty good night overall, and I woke up much fresher than I felt falling asleep. And two, I meditated a lot. After the Laker game, I did my Laker video. I didn't even look at my phone after the Laker video was complete. I put the phone down and I meditated till I went to sleep. It's just the vibe I was feeling last night. I get closer to God and just, thank Him for the day that I had, for the motivation I had, for the second win that I ultimately felt I found when I really wasn't going to work out. I really wasn't about to do anything. But, that voice, as it tells me important things and ever so slight things, I heard that voice in my head yesterday as I was trying to figure out what I was going to do between 2 o'clock and 4:30 when the game started. I had done everything I needed to do, Laker video, all that stuff. Pre-game video was out of the way. I had made some art. I think I had done that. I was like, man, I don't have nothing to do for the next 2 hours, but I'm too exhausted to work out. And the Lord said, let's go downstairs and get something to drink with your meal tonight. And I went down and did that, and that's when I was challenged. And so it was one of those situations when I got back upstairs, I felt like I had a different energy about me, and it was because I followed that voice. At the end of the day, I followed that voice. It told me to go down there, get something to drink, obviously talk to my buddy, and then come back upstairs with a regained spirit, to focus, to put forth the effort that otherwise I would have no intention of putting in. So that's just what I want to tell people. Like the Lord said He's going to work on me in this season, and I'm highly intentional on allowing Him to do that, whatever that looks like. If He tells me, let's go downstairs and get something to drink, I'm going to leave and follow that voice and go down there. If He tells me to get up and do some extra push-ups, I've been following that voice toward extra effort and a lot of different things I've been doing. So it's like, it's just about allowing Him to help me put in the effort necessary to do what I need to do, to be the best version of myself that I need to be for whatever the next leg of my life is going to be. So that's how I feel, man. I'm very thankful that the Lord did that. I'm very thankful that that's where it worked. And I feel like I got an extra pep in my step because of it. extra pep in my step. And I want to say that, for all of this going on and these things that we're paying attention to, that's another motivating factor, man. When you see people struggling like you're seeing in so many different facets of conversations, you just know that you are afforded 2 free hours to do whatever you do. I don't work, you know what I mean? So it's like, what am I going to do with 2 hours but lay down, go to sleep, lick my wounds, and then furthermore be drawn to more need for more rest because of that rest that you give yourself when you're tired. You get yourself up and you work. You get yourself up and you push, so that you're more likely, even within your fatigue, to, when you rest and recover from that, be more likely to have energy to do more work with. And that's what brings about conditioning. And it starts first with appreciation for the ability to move, the appreciation for the time from which to do it. And so that's what I want to give thanks to the Most High for instilling in me and helping me understand that though I was tired, I just needed a little motivation. And in that motivation, I could do great things, even from within that fatigue space. And so that is something that I really held pride to yesterday. So yeah, and then furthermore, there's other things that I want to say as well. Something I was paying attention to online. This individual who's got himself locked up in a situation, and now he's talking online about different things having to do with his case. He still think it's entertainment time. And I just want to encourage people to just, if you get yourself caught up in something legal, once you open your mouth, whatever comes out of it can be used against you. Even if it's not within angles that you can fathom. There are think tanks in these organizations, the feds and whoever, who are looking to take you down, that specialize in identifying different things they could use to improve their case. And so a lot of times people think, and this is what I often say, they think they behold the world as they know, that it is, when they only behold it as they know it to be. You think you understand what can hurt you because in the world you're in every day, you know how not to get yourself locked up in a jam with your words. A lot of people have a lot of confidence that they know how to play these games. But when it comes to legality, it's a different set of opportunities that one who's not in those spaces every day will likely find themselves falling into by using their voice and speaking upon things that have to do with a legal situation. Once you find yourself with a case of any kind, your best interest is to likely say very little. Because even things that within your understanding you believe will not get you in trouble, those things can still get you in trouble in the arena that you're now in. And you may not be able to see it. I just can't see how any of these words can be harmful. But that you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And one has to be respectful enough of the art of locking people down and how many conjoined efforts come together from different professionals who do this for a living, ultimately work together to bring you down just off the strength of you saying something that in your world can't even get you in trouble. In their world, they can definitely twist it up to make it so that your ass is in trouble. And so that's why I just felt like this individual was making so many mistakes in what it is I was watching without even mentioning his name. I don't want to make his situation any worse by even putting this in the air with his name on it. But this individual was talking about a federal case that had violence attached to it with his name attached to it. And because he said it was a federal complaint and a lot of the different things that were said on podcasts, he, without the knowledge of what it is that's was fully privy to his case, felt like it was just him, in a space where they were using what he was saying on the podcast that he was saying in jokes or making up and aligning with things that could have been possible, coincidental things. that aligned with his story that happened in real life. And he said, man, they just, running with stuff that was said on the podcast. I was just talking. But the reality is, there were things about that circumstance that if he would have known those things, he would have known that the things that came out of his mouth in regards to that were bad for his case. And that's just like, sometimes you don't know everything you need to know how to protect yourself. And that's something they use in their back pocket. So while you're using your mouth, thinking you understand your case, they got something hidden within their best interest that will align you with guilt for what it is you think you can say, that ultimately puts you away. And so that's really what it is that I want to say there. Let's not think we're smarter than the authorities when they have our name written on something. Once they have our name written on something, for whatever the case may be, your best interest is to now listen to the people that are supposed to be representing you. That is, if you have enough money, get the best representatives you can, and then from there, follow their counsel to a T. Because now you're walking into an arena where you don't play that game. That game that's not your game, man. You don't know what you need to know in order to protect yourself properly. You don't know what they're hiding from you so that you think you can protect yourself a certain way when actually you need to protect yourself a different way. And so, and that you are innocent or you feel you are innocent does not mean that they aren't going to find a way to prove that you're not. And that's what their job is. It's not to necessarily be fair, but to take the evidence they have and be successful. And putting you away for 30 years is very much how they define success. So for me, I just say, if you got a federal case of any kind, even if it's not something jail worthy, whatever it is that you got going on, listen to your counsel, man. And trust, they're probably going to tell you to shut up. Trust that much too. They're probably going to tell you that. They're probably going to tell you to shut up. And I suggest that you do that. I really do, man. And so that's just something I wanted to throw into the situation. I don't know if this will be relevant to anybody who follows me. Hopefully not. But, life is real for a lot of people. And sometimes we just think we're smarter than we are. And those type of mistakes, you can't make twice. You won't have an opportunity to make that mistake twice. Toying around with those people when they talking about this or that in regards to you, that's when you know it's time for you to get it right the first time, man. Get it right the first time. So, yeah, man, that was just like a bit of frustration. I understand, like, not everybody is strong of the mind. Like, let's just put it like that. Not everybody is sharp, and that's unfortunate because a lot of times there are people who are very successful, but when it comes to certain things that are just common sense to a lot of us, maybe they have an issue. You know what I mean? And I think that this person probably has that going on, to be honest with you. I don't think a person that was strong in the mind, regardless of how high their aptitude goes, if you're strong enough for the mind, you know better than to toy around with your life that way. You got your name on a federal case. 9 out of 10 people who are strong of the mind, they're not gonna play around like that. I'm not going on a podcast and think it's time to entertain. You know what I'm saying? When you're facing life or facing 30 years or whatever the hell he's facing, it's not time to entertain. It's time to listen to your lawyers, literally. And so I just don't think that guy's all that sharp. But that's a whole nother story, man. Regardless of what, man, prayers out to everybody involved in these type of situations, including him. And that is all I want to say about that particular thing. So, is there anything else I wanted to get into, man? I found a nug of weed last night in my room, small nug in the drawer. I did smoke it, and it was great. It contributed a lot to my motivation as well. I'm not buying no more weed. That's the only way I'm smoking. If I find a nug in the room, I'm gonna hit it. If somebody, provides me a little nug, like if I go visit my friends, they provide me some weed, I'll smoke it. But other than that, I'm not purchasing. I have no interest. But that was a much better high than the last one. Better, whatever that was, it was better weed. And I think I made some of my best art off of that, and had one of my strongest workouts after that. So that's what I did. I hit that little bit of weed and it kind of catered to the fullness of my night for the rest of the night. I think it probably catered to a lot of my choices in meditation at the end of the night. But, you know, I didn't have that drag feeling this morning. As you can clearly see, I feel like myself. So, you know, not all weed is created equal, I tell you, friends. Not all weed is created equal. Some weed will have you feeling terrible. Some stuff have you feeling great. You know, it just is what it is, man. So, yeah, man, that was a little bit of a blessing for me, I think, given the fact that what I was able to accomplish in that space. So, yeah, man, ain't nothing else really to it, man. It's a gloomy day, but like I said, I feel like I got more energy. I feel extremely well rested. I feel rejuvenated. I felt challenged yesterday. I felt like the Holy Spirit was with me the whole way through. And a lot of what it is that I think I'm feeling right now is also off the strength of so much prayer last night. I honestly have no idea how much praying I did last night as it pertains to the hours that I spent in pure meditation. I have no idea. I'd imagine the game ended. It started at what, 4:30? It was in regulation. Did a little 15-minute video in response to it. I'm sure I started my prayer at about 7:45 or something like that. At about 7:45. I don't know what time I fell asleep because, like I said, I never picked up my phone again after that. But I felt like I got plenty of sleep. Slept through the night. Woke up at about 8, maybe 7:50, something like that. And crawl out of bed an hour after that. I didn't crawl out of bed right away, but you know, that's really what it's about, man. It's just allowing God to take over. Very thankful for how that game went, and just overall how that day went. It all went smoothly from the moment I woke up and got out of that hotel to the time I laid my head down and meditated. God really smoothed out yesterday to be one of the better days that I could think of. So, yeah, man, and today's going smooth too. I don't have a negative thought in my heart, man. It's just, you know, try to continue to put in the effort that I put in yesterday. So as to where I felt like laying around in the house today, I said, no, we're going to continue that effort, get some exercise. The game starts at 5, so I definitely got to be back over here. But I figured, you know, maybe go to Hollywood real quick, maybe climb a mountain or rather a hill over there and just come back home. That's kind of how I'm looking at this. Don't have any shopping to do, so I just want to come on here and give y'all a testimony about how my night went, and, you know, encourage people to do what it is they need to do that's most responsible for their circumstances, and you know, just align your relationship with God. If you believe in Him, strengthen that relationship, man. If you believe in Him, strengthen it, because if you do, He will be able to motivate you in so many different ways that you cannot see, and He'll use somebody that is in your world to push the right buttons for you mentally, to have you pushing stronger. And that's what He did last night for me. So, yeah, man, it starts with a foundation there, and then an increase in tension upon practicing upon that relationship. So I encourage everybody to do, just practice upon your relationships with God. Get your mind worked into the fruit of adhering and submitting to something more unselfish than yourself. And that's a healthy way, I think, to approach it. God is more unselfish than all of us. So when you submit to Him, it pays far more dividends than any other submission to anything else. And a lot of times you don't want to submit to another man. You know what I mean? That fashion of thought, it often ruptures the ego, makes us feel lesser, makes us feel like we ain't doing our part in life or whatever, makes us feel like we're weak. But when you submit to God, you understand that His entire functionality is to continue to give. So nothing comes greater to man than to submit to the ever-giving entity in existence. And that's really what it's about. You're not giving to somebody who's looking to take. You're giving to somebody who's constantly creating, who's constantly, you know what I mean? You're submitting yourself to somebody who constantly wants the best for you, who already knows what you're dealing with, who understands everything going on around you, who understands everyone around you better than your imagination will allow you to perceive those things. And so submitting to Him is your greatest protection. It's your greatest asset. And if you look at it the right way, it can be your greatest blessing. So that's what I want to tell everybody out there. Give him a chance. It's been great for me, and I know he will continue to be great for all of us. Bdf 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.